Hi, my name's Fay Roberts. You may know me from Hammer and Tongue, Allographic, Wild Strawberries, other Voices Spoken Word Cabaret, Spoken Word at PBH's Free Fringe, the BBC Slam, or even Poetry Kapow from back in the day. Alternatively, you may be a friend, relative, or colleague. Hello! 2 years ago, I finished tinkering with my first solo show, The Selkie, A Song of Many Waters. It's an hour-long show that celebrates a modern life mythologised, where nearly all of the characters are mythological, fairy tale, or everyday creatures. I wanted to explore what it meant to be someone who knows that they're different, but not how or why, and the journey they take to discover what that means. Using the analogy of a Selkie, which is a Celtic sea creature that looks like a seal until it sheds its skin to look human, and then puts its skin back on again to be a seal. This analogy involved a Selkie that didn't know that its transformative pelt had been taken from it at birth. The Selkie in this tale grows up to be able to do amazing things with its voice, but is also somewhat shunned as an anomaly, as something that fails to be normal. At the end of nearly 2 years of development, I had a show I was proud of. People seemed to enjoy it, using some very complimentary terms and some technical language that was new to me, to say how much it spoke to them, how much it moved them. I had created something that dipped and weaved between performance poetry, storytelling and song, with elements of the traditional weaved with the modern. It made people laugh, for which I wasn't entirely prepared, and cry, about which I felt a bit guilty, as well as expressing all sorts of emotions in between. After some previews, performed it for a week at Edinburgh Fringe after 2 very full weeks of running all sorts of other shows. I then went home and abruptly got ill. Very ill. I lost my voice for 9 months, lost far more weight than I could easily afford, unable to eat much. I couldn't sleep unless I sat up, and even then only for snatches of time before I stopped breathing. Every night for months. Frankly, it was a bit rubbish. Also somewhat frightening, to say the least, and on top of that, I'd lost, I thought perhaps forever, one of the things that informed my identity, that made me me. Real irony, of course, was that this came hot on the heels of performing a show about a creature whose power and weakness and identity is bound up in its voice, while watching my career as a vocal artist vanish. As I started to recover, I got the news that the Selkie had been shortlisted for a Saboteur Award for Best Spoken Word Show. In case you don't know, this is a big deal in the spoken word world, and I was over the moon. Luckily, I currently have a better handle on my health, and my voice has recovered somewhat. I've decided to bring the Selkie back to life, to give her a voice again. I'll be performing the show at Edinburgh Fringe, 4th to 11th of August at 52 Canoes, Grassmarket, 12:30 p.m. every day except Wednesday the 8th. Got to memorise that. And for once, I've decided to ask for people's help to make this happen. I'm going with a free fringe, as ever. They make it easy for both artist and audience to take risks by not charging either a penny. However, as artists, we're reliant on audience donations to help offset our costs. And getting audiences in costs money. So, publicity, accommodation, transport, props, hiring a technician to provide music cues and other things, insurance, costume, they all cost money, and creating merchandise to sell to try to recoup some of that cash means spending money up front. In all, it costs between £1,000 and £2,000 to take a show up to run for 11 days on the free fringe, and no, as far as I can tell, there are no official grants available. During the rest of the year, I have to work part-time because my health isn't strong enough, and having chronic health conditions costs money in itself. Yay! But I thought that, instead of owing the bank interest, I'd owe you a reward. Far more satisfying. If you donate, you can claim from a range of returns on your investment, from a hearty thanks to a badge, a postcard, the book or CD of the show, prints from the beautiful artwork by Sadia Khan, all the way up to a writing or performance coaching session from me and various other rewards. And you can tell everyone that you're an official patron of the arts, as well as earning my undying gratitude and helping to ensure that more people get to enjoy the show. Thanks so much for listening, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.